Takulandirani ku AMTV Malawi kuchimake kwa nkhani zenizeni. Ngati nkhani imeneyo kuno kulibe, dziwani kuti nkhani imeneyo ndi yabodza.
Welcome, we bring you the latest edition of MBC News. You're with me, Patso Tebulo, alongside Linle Mponda, our sign language interpreter tonight. Our top stories. Now, the news in detail. President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika and the First Lady, Madam Professor Getrude Mutharika, have extended their warmest congratulations and best wishes to all Muslims across Malawi as they celebrate Eid al-Adha. According to a statement from the State House, the first couple says, as our Muslim brothers and sisters gather to commemorate the values of obedience, sacrifice and charity, all Malawians should reflect on the importance of unity, peace, love for one another. President Professor Mutharika and the First Lady, Madam Professor Getrude Mutharika, have since wished the entire Muslim community a peaceful, blessed and joyful Eid al-Adha. Meanwhile, the Muslim Association of Malawi MAM has encouraged Malawians to embrace the spirit of sharing with the less privileged. Spokesperson for MAM, Sheikh Dinala Shabulika, made the call as Muslims in the country have joined their fellow Muslims across the globe in celebrating Eid al-Adha. Charles Wensulo reports.
Speaking in Chikwawa during the slaughtering of herds of cattle and goats, Sheikh Chabulika said this year's celebrations, the organization will reach out to many people as they have secured 1,300 herds of cattle and 4,000 goats.
As Muslim Association of Malawi, with the leadership of the current leadership of Sheikh Drisa Muhammad, he always have this program of slaughtering animals each and every year. I just recall that last year we slaughtered about 600, and this year we are going to slaughter about 1,300. So you can see the number is still increasing. That means more people and more beneficiaries, they will be benefiting out of these programs.
In his remarks, one of the beneficiaries, Blessings Chanza from Chikwawa, commended the organization for the free meat.
I'm very happy. When this time comes, we know that we will have good ladies because they will give us meat. We can't afford to buy beef, but this time around, we have it. We are thankful to the organization for the gift.
Eid al-Adha is an annual celebration that takes place after completion of 10 days of fasting by the Muslims. According to the Muslims, the event relates to what Prophet Ibrahim did when God gave him a calf for a sacrifice on behalf of his son Isaac. Charles Bensulo, MBC News, Blantyre.
And Islamic Relief Malawi has called on Malawians to support those in need and share their resources to strengthen unity and peace in the country. Country Director for the organization, Ibro Abdullahi, made the call in Blantyre during Eid al-Adha celebrations, also known as the Festival of Sacrifice. He said the occasion is a time for the Muslim community to demonstrate compassion by sharing what they have with others.
So this is a program that Islamic Relief is conducting in about 40 countries, and Malawi is one of these countries. So we have people across the globe who are contributing to help, so we can provide some assistance of meat to those families who are not able to slaughter for themselves to celebrate the Eid day. And my message is that let's spread the peace all over the world and hope that the world will be a better place for everyone.
District Commissioner for Palombe, Yobu Makina Gama, has urged people to utilize the presidential order on hygiene and sanitation to enhance living standards. Speaking ahead of the launch of Malawi Clean School My Pride campaign, an initiative by the First Lady, Madam Professor Getrude Mutharika, Makina said as a district, they have already started enhancing sanitation-related activities. We have a report by Geoffrey Chinawa.
According to Makina, healthy citizens are pivotal in the development of any society as they contribute to economic growth, social progress, and sustainable development. The district commissioner then commended the First Lady, Madam Professor Getrude Mutharika, and the Beautify Malawi Beam Trust for championing sanitation and hygiene, a development he said will help ensure that schools are more productive.
Palombe, we are doing very well in terms of sanitation. You are aware that the state president had to give a directive that all public places, all private institutions, all homes, and everywhere else where people stay, people have to observe sanitation. And as Palombe, the moment we received that order, we had to launch the sanitation, especially at the Chiringa market. And in our institutions, you know, they are all aware about this, and we are very privileged today that the First Lady is coming tomorrow to launch sanitation in our schools, and not only primary schools, but primary as well as secondary schools.
In her remarks, a Member of Parliament for Palombe South constituency, Tiaone Henry, pledged to lead people in her area in supporting the campaign. The legislator said the fronting of primary school pupils in the initiative will make students become ambassadors of the initiative, hence ensuring sustainability.
Going through all the schools, I think this event is focusing on schools, primary schools and secondary schools, both public and also private. But would say that generally schools are already doing something on issues of sanitation. It's just a matter of bringing it to be a culture, it to be something that we live by day to day. But I would say that as it is the current situation right now, the schools around here, they are managing their environment very well, and we don't have really challenges, but we want them to scale up and we want them to put up the game, because we really want to have beautiful public schools. It is always seen like schools are beautiful when they are private, but we want our public schools also to look beautiful, to be fenced, to have flowers, to be well ventilated, to have good toilets and all that. So this initiative will put up that to be a good challenge for the constituency as well.
Under BEAM's My Clean School, My Pride campaign, among others, primary schools will be competing on issues of sanitation and hygiene. Earlier this year, President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika issued Executive Order No. 2 of 2026, which mandates sanitation and hygiene in all public places, workplaces and schools. Jeffrey Shinawa, MBC News, Palombe.
Now, the Ministry of Health and Sanitation has called on various stakeholders in the country to ensure that women and girls, including those in rural and vulnerable communities, have easy and affordable access to quality menstrual products. Director of the Presidential Initiative on Maternal Health and Safe Motherhood in the Ministry of Health, Ethel Kapiepie, made the remarks in Lilongwe during a commemoration of World Menstrual Hygiene Day. Olive Piri reports.
The commemoration of World Menstrual Hygiene Day started with a solidarity walk from Lilongwe Community Ground to Kachere Prison, where the main event took place. World Menstrual Hygiene Day is an annual awareness day observed on 28th May, signaling the importance of good menstrual hygiene. Speaking during the event, Director of the Presidential Initiative on Maternal Health and Safe Motherhood, Ethel Kapiepie, emphasized the need for Malawians to understand that menstruation is normal. Kapiepie said parents, religious leaders, traditional leaders, and young people should all take part in conversations on menstruation and support menstruating women and girls so that they realize their dreams, achieve a period-friendly world, and contribute to Malawi 2063 development aspirations.
Culturally and as a country, normally when the girls are in menstruation, there are cultural issues that make sure there is a stigma. So we want to make sure that we break the silence on that stigma, and girls can be able to access products for menstrual health easily and also be able to do whatever they want.
Chief of Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, WASH at UNICEF, James Robertson, said more than 80% of girls do not receive information about menstruation until they reach puberty. Robertson emphasized the need for girls to have access to accurate information about menstruation from an early age.
This day is critically important. Maybe 250,000 girls will start their periods this year. They need to have information about what happens, how to deal with it, how to manage it. And UNICEF wants to support that to give them dignity, health and safety in schools and in growing up, to grow into functional, happy, productive members of society.
One of the prisoners at Kachere Prison, Rhoda Chataika, commended the Ministry of Health and its partners for taking menstrual hygiene messages to the prison and providing them with sanitary products. 2026 marks the 13th year since Malawi joined the global community in commemorating World Menstrual Hygiene Day in 2013.
You're watching MBC News and you're with me, Patso Tebulo. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Linle Mponda. A reminder of our top stories. Welcome back. Now, Malawi Enterprise Development Fund MEDEF says it is waiting for the completion and approval of a forensic audit before disposing of farm input items worth over 15 billion kwacha that are currently deteriorating in storage. MEDEF Chief Executive Officer Kaisi Sadala disclosed this during an engagement with the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament Park. Sadala said some of the farm inputs, particularly perishable items such as seeds and chemicals, have already expired, while others, including liquid fertilizer, are close to expiry. He further said forensic auditors are currently on the ground verifying the items and expressed hope that the report will be concluded soon. Sadala spoke to our reporter, Catherine Panda.
The public will recall that when I last appeared before the committee in January, there was an agreement, or there was a guide to say that nothing should take place until the forensic auditors have been on the ground and have verified the items. So when we noted that the forensic audit was taking time to start their job, we wrote Parliament to allow us maybe for partial disbursements, not partial disposal of the items. For example, for the perishables, like the seeds and maybe other chemicals that we were afraid that they were going to get rotten or destroyed if it took time. So that communication was not responded to. But now, in amidst that, the forensic auditors came on the ground. And we are happy to report that the forensic auditors are on the ground. And very soon we may be getting an interim report, and we are hopeful that now the forensic auditors will soon allow us to dispose of the items that are there. But our concern still is, because of the time it has taken, we expect that the losses on that items will be much higher than we had earlier on anticipated because of the time lag.
One of the resolutions in that report was make sure that there is a forensic audit. An attempt to do anything contrary to what the whole House agreed is undermining the powers of the whole House. I don't think this is the way citizens who want Public Accounts Committee to operate. So what we did was to respect, and what we've done is to ask them to expedite the process of forensic audit. If they can do that within the shortest possible time, that would be much, much better.
Malawi's tobacco marketing season is showing signs of improvement after a difficult start characterized by high rejection rate at auction floors. Tobacco Commission says the quality of the leaf remains key in determining prices as authorities move to address overproduction in the sector. McDonald Chwaira reports.
The Tobacco Commission says the 2026 tobacco marketing season is progressing positively despite challenges experienced at the start of the selling season. Authorities say rejection rates for auction tobacco, which were initially high, have started declining this week. As of Tuesday, over 32 million kilograms of tobacco valued at 68 million United States dollars had been sold at an average price of $2.09 per kilogram.
season, the tobacco marketing season, is going on very well. We are impressed with what is happening so far. As you know, we started off on a bad note with high rejection rates on auction tobacco. But what we are seeing this week is that there is a slight improvement in the rejection rates. And we are waiting to see what we are going to have by the end of the week. But we have seen the daily auction rates coming down to 55% or thereabouts, and we would like to see where this takes us to. So we are impressed, we are happy with the developments so far.
The Commission has, however, expressed concern over poor tobacco presentation practices by some farmers, including mixing grades and adding water to tobacco leaves, practices blamed for low prices and the rejection of tobacco at the auction floors.
We have always advised farmers that the prices of their tobacco, the prices offered to them as farmers, will always be determined by the quality, by the presentation of the tobacco. If they bring mixed bales, if they bring wet tobacco, it means that they will lose out because such tobacco always attracts lower prices. And in some cases, the tobacco is rejected. So we encourage all our stakeholders, especially grower associations, to continue engaging their members.
The regulator said farmers must prioritize quality if they are to earn better prices. Some farmers who manage to produce high-quality tobacco say following proper agricultural extension advice has helped them secure better prices. Lemson Sankurani, whose tobacco fetched up to $3.20 per kilogram, said adherence to recommended farming practices is key to better returns.
The secret is to follow recommended agricultural practices that lead to high-quality tobacco leaf production. Today, some of my bales fetched $3.20 per kilogram. However, the challenge is that many farmers are getting low prices, which do not match the high cost of farm inputs.
The tobacco sector remains Malawi's major foreign exchange earner, with authorities hoping ongoing reforms and improved tobacco quality will help maximize returns for farmers and the country at large. McDonald Chwaira, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Residents in some parts of Blantyre City have complained about the erratic water supply from the Blantyre Water Board, BWB, a situation WASH experts have described as worrisome. MBC's visit to affected areas, including Sochi Federation, revealed that the situation is dire in most areas, requiring urgent attention. Meda Kamoa has more in this report read by Telson Magombo.
The irregular water supply from the Blantyre Water Board has been a major problem that people living in the areas surrounding Blantyre have been experiencing for some time. Among the areas are Zingwangwa, Angeo Govera, and Sochi Federation. Hanisia Gulaya and Leon Kuliwa are affected residents and shed more light on the predicament.
The water problem has become severe when
Now we move to sports. Flames head coach Callisto Basua has named 14 foreign-based players in a 23-man squad for Malawi's upcoming international friendly matches against Ethiopia, scheduled for 6th and 9th June 2026 in Addis Ababa. The two matches form part of the Flames' preparations for the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. Praise Major reports.
Among the foreign-based players called up is US-based Luciano Matthew of Kalonji Soccer Academy, who has received his maiden national team call-up. Christopher Kumwembe and Francisco Madinga have also earned their first call-ups under Pasua. Other players selected include Joshua Waka, Washali Jazia, Blessing Singini, Mwisho Muhango, Festus Due, Ephraim Kondowe, Babatunda Depoju, and Chifundo Mpasi. The casualties include Patrick Mwangulu, Langes Ngoma, Chikumbuto Salima, Maere Malango, Chawanangwa Kaonga, and Richard Mbulu. Pasua says the technical panel wants to assess more players ahead of the AFCON qualifying campaign.
There are some who are injured, and then there are some who are tied up with games like the League of Zimbabwe is going on, and to some of the players, the teams, they want to use them. Then also we have players like Ali Klung, who is injured, or even on his team is not playing. Then the same thing again is on Mbulu. On last game we couldn't play, we only played some few minutes, and he was substituted. And then to some of the guys, like I said, we thought we know them already.
In the 2027 AFCON qualifiers, Malawi is in Group B alongside Egypt, Angola and South Sudan. Praise Majawa, MBC Sport Blantyre.
And FCB Nyasa Big Bullets have fired head coach Gilbert Chira with immediate effect. The club has confirmed the development through a statement published on its official website. Chira took charge of the club on an interim basis following the departure of former head coach Peter Mponda in December last year. Well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC.
Osaiwala kupanga subscribe ku channel ya AMTV Malawi.